2, 1. We're on Facebook Live.
And when you hear that sound, you know you just entered into the shop. And when you hear that sound, you know you just entered into the shop. Shop Talk with Gavo, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Y'all, I'm not sure y'all hear me. I have a very special guest with me tonight, Mr. Jose Quinones.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jose Quinones, also known as the Humble Leader, author, well-decorated retired veteran, entrepreneur. I mean, the list goes on. Public speaker, mentor. The list goes on. But I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. Thank you, sir, for making your way into the shop today.
Man, it's been a while. It's been coming. We've been trying to link up, and I know sometimes that times just conflict.
Right.
But nevertheless, we are here. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tapping in and listening. Again, my name is Jose Quinones. I am an author. I am the author of a book called Stepping Into Leadership. It's both in English and in Spanish.
Both.
It's called De Camino al Liderazgo in Spanish.
Okay.
And I'm just here with my man Gavo. When he said, "Hey, would you like to be in my show?" I was like, "Hey, you Gavo, you on the radio." I'm just be humble enough just to thankful for you to have me, so I appreciate you.
Not a problem. So with everything that's been going on in today's day and age, I know you've had something that's happened within your family recently.
Yes.
So what we would like to do is take a moment to acknowledge some family members.
Yes, I would like everybody to please keep my family in prayer. We had a tragic loss, and it was unexpected. Of course, like tragedy always is.
Mm-hmm.
And please, I ask you to put prayers so that your higher power, whoever you call your higher power, put their hands in or cover my cousin's husband and son, because definitely I can feel their pain. I know their pain, and they need our support more than ever. And y'all know your prayers will help a lot. So we appreciate it.
So right now, Shop Talk with Gabo, we're calling on the prayer warriors.
Definitely.
We're calling on the prayer warriors, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to step into leadership.
Oh,
okay. We're going to step into leadership, and that's also the title of your new release, Stepping Into Leadership. So talk to me, when did you decide that you was going to make this your responsibility?
Wow. My responsibility became true, and I have to thank a good friend of mine,
okay,
Colin Gamilla. And we've been talking. I talked to you about the talk that we had, and our conversations are like the type of conversations that most people would like to hear, or if we wish that it was 70 people listening to what we say at the same time, because it's just knowledge that, for the most part, is not just given away, or people don't want to listen to. I figured then, if people do not want to listen to me, hopefully they want to read about me.
Okay, yeah, that is a different aspect. That's a different look.
And if put in an aspect to make it a little bit of entertaining and just eye catching, then I just say, and really, the conversations that I used to have in the Army, or even with people outside of the Army,
right,
are not happening at this time. I don't know if the new generation just don't want to listen, or just want to do things on their own, and which is okay,
right.
But before we go, I told, and here it is. We all, in my opinion, have a responsibility to write a book because we all did something. Mm-hmm. We all accomplished something that someone is trying to accomplish.
Everybody has some type of knowledge.
Correct. And that knowledge could be transferred into what you did, in steps that you took. Mm-hmm. And why not? You have a book. You have a book to write. We all have a book to write. And if you're not writing a book, if you're not think that you could write a book, think about what you have done from the moment that you had some type of sense to now. Mm-hmm. What have you done great to lead you here? Mm-hmm. What decisions you made, right? All of those decisions, all of those steps are knowledge that could be passed on and put on a book. Because that's what I did.
You took on this responsibility. You made this your responsibility because you felt that the information was necessary. It needed to be shared.
Yes.
It needed to be distributed.
Yes.
It needed to get put into the atmosphere. So,
yes.
So let me ask you another question. So, with the name and the title, The Humble Leader,
okay,
let's talk about what different type of certifications have you acquired? What different spaces have you put yourself in to facilitate this need? Because everybody might be like, well, everybody can call themselves leader, but I know you have actually put in the work and in the groundwork in order for you to hold that name and hold that title.
Well, all right. So I'm going to be very honest and very transparent.
Let's do it. It's shop talk.
Okay. And it's in the book. You know, again, since I was young, I was told that, hey, you're a leader. Now, what gives me the title or the, hey, you should write a book, or because why should people read about it? Mm-hmm. I have helped individuals see better themselves all the time. Mm-hmm. I help them see better all the time. I have changed people's minds into how they make money, into how they do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But on top of all that, I have also gained some knowledge through education. Mm-hmm. And, master's degree, leadership, and so on and so forth. And what I was doing, or what I was thinking of every time that I was doing some type of mentorship or so on and so forth, it was everything that those leaders were talking about in those books or those like papers that they will write. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I could write, if they talking about it, yeah. that means that I'm into something. And also, if I could add some of me, because there were some stumps that even through some of the strategies that I did, there were some stumps and some steps that I missed that we talk about. So again, it is just basically is what I did and what not to do. Now, I would like to point out that by accord to most people, my military career was not a successful career. The rank that I achieved, staff sergeant, even though a 20-year career is a successful career, and as an E6, it's not much of a success looked at as a successful. That does not make me a bad leader. Right. It's just that I made some mistakes that kept me from ascending.
But those are lessons you had to learn.
Correct. Okay. But again, that is a message that I can tell you, hey, what not to do in order for you to continue moving forward. So that's the best thing I can tell you.
With chapter 1, knowing is half the battle. What's expected of you?
Okay.
So the purpose of that chapter is just to what would you say the purpose of that first chapter?
Now,
also side note, the Stepping into Leadership is a very easy read. It's about 37 pages.
Like from cover to cover, 33 of knowledge and the other 4 are just thank you and Now, all I can go is for what I experienced.
You the writer.
That's what I experienced. All I can go for what I experienced, and if I experienced it, I'm sure that someone else did. Now, as I was rising in ranks, whether in business or in the army, there were a lot of things that were expected of me.
Right.
But yet, half the time, were not told.
Wasn't directly
Correct.
It wasn't
correct. It was more. It was more. Okay, look, watch what I do, and do what I do. You know, watch what I do and do what I do. And if you were not very observant, then you were really. Right. And I was not the very observant person.
Okay.
And I missed it. Rather than, you know, I was at the time when I was actually going into a leadership position, I was more of a, hey, Jose Quinones, come here. Here, put it in writing. I'll read it. Okay, this is what I have to do. Give me a step-by-step method type style so that I can know and I understand better. I wasn't what you see now. It wasn't always, you know, and I wasn't as fast as a thinker as always. You know,
quick learning.
I was slow. You know, I was a slow learner, and now I figured, you know, if I could lessen the curve or the learning curve for someone, giving somebody a push just by putting it in layman's terms, because that's exactly what it is. Just put everything is on layman's terms. Just if you hear it, that's how it is.
So, what kind of habits led to your change? What kind of habits did you? What's habits leading the change? What kind of habits did we have to create?
Well, you know, my first habit was the first habit of believing that I really needed to. I don't speak about this, but the first habit is the habit that I really needed to believe more in myself and forget about what everybody else said. I needed to be somewhere. I needed to be somebody. I was going to do something. I had to. And it doesn't matter which way, another way, I just had to do it. Really. That's the first habit that I gained. You know, I don't talk about it. But if you don't believe in yourself, then you
it changed.
Right.
You're like, and that self-belief is definitely the kicker, because you got to be able to see it. I got to be able to see what you can't see. You got to be able to see what I can't see in myself and for myself, you know. Because also in the book, but we're going to get to that part. But you talked about circles.
Oh, yeah,
we talked about circles. I know we're gonna get to that part. We're gonna get to that part. So let me ask you a few questions on the process of creating the book. So let's say I have an idea, I have a concept. What kind of steps did you take into putting this together? You know, what didn't you know you needed?
What didn't I know? Not much. Because I knew people that wrote books.
Okay.
And I asked. Here's the
and you're big. And I can tell from just our own personal conversations and from reading your book, you're big on, if it's information I need to know, let me go to a source.
Right. You know, listen. Okay, there are a few things that I am not. It is an expert on everything. Now, I know a lot about a lot,
right?
But I'm not an expert on everything. And if I need to expand on something, I want to make sure that I'm speaking truth,
right?
Because someone is listening,
right?
Okay. Now, like I screwed up my credit. Really, I screwed it up. What does that tell you? That I do not know how to manage money or my credit. Guess what I had to do? I had to learn. Someone had to teach me. I asked many individuals, how do you manage your money? How do you and your wife? Now, would you be kind enough to share that with me? Because now, not a lot of people are kind enough to share with me. I just have circles. Right. I have circles. And that's why I wrote, I have circles that will share. I'm not the smartest dude. I'm not the smartest dude in my circles. And therefore, I am constantly evolving because my circle evolves. They are evolving themselves, and it forces me to evolve myself. Okay. And again, so I do just have to be around individuals that would, at first, they have to give you some information in order to kickstart. Because if you don't have the money, or if you don't have the experience, someone someone has to be kind enough to give you a leg up, to give you a kickstart. And I had several of individuals to give me a leg up in business, a kickstart in business, and to this day, and that is